His name is synonymous with corporate titan.
He's an innovator. He's an icon. He's in the same category as the J.P. Morgans, the Rockefellers.
A pioneer who was instrumental in creating a $2.5 trillion industry.
Henry Kravis has constantly pushed the envelope. He's helped define the private equity industry.
Henry was ahead of everybody when it came to raising money. He sort of invented the business.
Henry Kravis led a fierce battle that sent shockwaves through Wall Street.
Henry's decision to enter the deal as he did, it was not just big guns coming in. It was Godzilla wading in from the ocean and stomping down Wall Street.
He's a fighter, and a competitive fighter.
He not only changed the game, he made it better.
In 1987, he found the perfect takeover candidate. RJR Nabisco, the cookie and tobacco company, the U.S.'s 19th largest public corporation, had a stock price trading in the $40 range and would soon prove to be undervalued. RJR owned two giant businesses. A buyer could sell Nabisco to pay off debt and keep RJR's hugely profitable cigarette brands, Winston and Camel.
They have addicted customers, for Christ's sake. They make tons of cash. Everybody wanted to do that deal. And it had a CEO who would listen to just about anything.
Ross Johnson was very, very generous to people. He loved to provide an airplane for somebody to go to a golf tournament. Sometimes maybe he did too many things with RJR Nabisco's assets, but he meant well.
F. Ross Johnson needed to boost his company's stagnant stock price after the Black Monday market crash of 1987 and problems with the company's new product.
Then there was the smokeless cigarette by R.J. Reynolds, years in the making. It hit the market with an enormous thud.
Nothing.
Going private with an LBO was his chance to revive the company, not to mention make a personal fortune. The stage was set. Henry Kravis wanted in. Kravis had approached Johnson with this very idea a year before, but there was a problem.
You'd have a hard time finding two corporate executives much different than Henry Kravis and Ross Johnson. Henry is tightly controlled and serious, and Ross comes across as anything but. In terms of personal style, he wears a little necklace, and, you know, he's like Dean Martin. They were destined to come into conflict.
Johnson and his management team decided to strike out on their own and partner with Shearson Lehman, an investment bank without KKR's experience in LBOs. On October 20th, 1988, they made a proposal, a $17 billion leveraged buyout of R.J. Reynolds. They were offering $75 a share, a nearly $20 increase over the stock price. Henry Kravis was outraged. The war had begun.
He was the king of that business at that point. And there is no denying that he was personally offended that a group of little upstart nobodies to the LBO business could think that they could come into his turf and take the single biggest deal ever proposed.
Johnson's group tried to make peace with Kravis, but talks went nowhere. Just 4 days later, Kravis and KKR shocked the financial world with their own bid, $20 billion, raising the price to $90 a share.
Henry's decision to enter the deal as he did, it was not just big guns coming in. It was Godzilla wading in from the ocean and stomping down Wall Street. He wanted to scare off potential buyers.
Jim Robinson was head of American Express, the parent company of Shearson Lehman at the time.
I was on the other side of the fence. Henry and George, when they get personally involved in the deals, you know that you're dealing with a very capable adversary.
But the RJR board declined KKR's offer. While Johnson and his team were blindsided by Henry Kravis's aggressive move, they didn't back down. They countered with another offer of $92 a share, almost $21 billion.
Everything on Wall Street stopped. It was like two gunfighters out in the street, and everybody wanted to watch, or everybody wanted to grab a gun.
The media, they love a battle, they love a war, they love a winner, they love a loser.
The round-the-clock publicity and the scrutiny over the largest deal in history stung Kravis.
Nobody likes to see their deal negotiated in the press on a daily basis and be taken out of proportion.
When you play that game, you're going to get people taking shots at you. You're going to have people attack you. You learn to have a thick skin.
The RJR board also rejected Johnson's proposal. Though to move the deal forward, they told all potential bidders that they had 10 days to come up with another offer. The confrontation between the bidders escalated.
I think Henry might tell you today that part of what was driving him subconsciously was the desire to win, the single most deadly sin that you can have in the acquisitions business.
6 weeks after Johnson's initial offer for the giant company, Kravis and Roberts were locked in a marathon last-minute bidding session. Their final bid was a staggering $109 a share, nearly double its initial price. Now, it became a waiting game.
There's a lot of tension, and everybody's tired. I remember it was very late at night when the board finally made its decision.
All over. It's all over? Right.
On November 29th, 1988, a few minutes after 10 at night, the board of RJR had made their decision. Henry Kravis would win the day.
KKR, the best in the business, and they know what they're doing.
Johnson tried to engineer the biggest inside job in history. He would have made at least $100 million for his own personal bank account if the deal had worked. But a Wall Street tycoon named Henry Kravis snatched the company away, and that's it for Mr. Johnson.
KKR made $75 million in fees.
Clearly, winning RJR took Henry to the pinnacle of his reputation on Wall Street. But more than anything, I know from talking with him at the time that mostly what they felt was fear. A fear that they were not going to be able to make this work. Ultimately, those fears proved well-founded.